Hello from the beach. So I'm gonna go through and show you and tell you some of the things that I do for sun care for when it's really sunny and we go to the beach or if we're out all day. So as you guys know, we love going to the beach and I love the sun. I love being outside. Summer is one of my favorite times of the year. So how do I make sure that I don't get burned and I keep my skin nice and healthy and I enjoy the sun without burning? So the number one way I protect myself from the sun is with clothing. So if I've exceeded the amount of time in the sun, like my skin has had enough time in the sun, then I will cover up. So I will use a hat, I'll use a linen shirt, a t-shirt, I'll go in the shade, an umbrella, and that's how I stop myself from burning. So usually with my skin and how I've built it up and with the lifestyle that I have, so I have my skin is, I'd say, in a really good state of health, that I don't burn very easily and I tan very well and my skin reacts well to the sun. In the past, I used to burn before I started having a healthy lifestyle. I used to burn very easily. I couldn't be out in the sun very long. I'd be super pale, then I'd go bright red, then I'd go super pale again. It's like my skin just didn't react very well to the sun. So there's a lot of things that I did that wasn't ideal. Also, I just wasn't used to the sun either. When I lived in the UK, especially growing up, I never went on holidays. I never really had much sun exposure. So my skin just wasn't adapted to it very well. So I can now be out in the sun on like a sunny day for probably up to an hour. After that, then my skin will start to go a bit prickly and red and I know that I have to cover up. So I'll put a shirt on, I'll put a hat on, or I will, if I cannot do that, say for instance, if I'm out all day going on a hike, I will want, even if I'm wearing a cap, I'll want to put some sun cream, for instance, on my nose, my cheeks, and on areas that might be showing. So we do use sun cream as a family, but we like natural organic sun creams which use zinc, which is a mineral. It's a very white, chalky mineral that goes on your skin and it naturally protects it. So
it blocks the sunlight, it reflects
the sun, yeah. It's just like a sun block actually. And my favorite brand is by Living Libations and it's called Everybody Loves the Sunshine Zinc Lotion. This is the cleanest, most natural brand that I've found. It's got 20% non-nanoparticle uncoated zinc oxide and all organic, glorious, sun-loving botanicals. So it has loads of other botanicals in here and oils, which also help protect your skin and help nourish it and look after it in the sun. And they don't have a chemical reaction to the sun, because a lot of sun creams out there have lots of toxic chemicals in there, perfumes, extra ingredients, even seed oils in the sun lotion. And that can just react badly and have a chemical reaction in the sun, which can, in my opinion, I think lead to unhealthy things that can happen to your skin. So I do use sun cream if I'm going to be out for a long time in the sun, but I do prefer to actually use clothing to protect myself, or I will just say I've had enough today and I'll go in. Whereas some people, their method for protecting themselves in the sun is to lie there out all day baking in the sun with sun cream on. That is just too much for the skin and I don't like that. So although you're not burning necessarily, your skin is still getting damaged from the sun, because the sun cream blocks only certain rays of the sun, not all of it, and you've got all those chemicals on your skin and it's just cooking your skin in the sun and it's going to age it prematurely. And then a lot of people also, they have a diet high in sugars, alcohol, seed oils, which also then kind of makes your skin unhealthy and it has bad reactions to the sun. So my diet is full of antioxidants, greens, I don't use seed oils, I don't put any toxins or chemicals on my skin. So my skin just reacts very, very well in the sun. Another thing that I found which helps with protecting my skin in the sun is making sure that I get sunlight in my eyes, I get sunlight exposure first thing in the morning when I first wake up within the first hour of the day. The sun has got loads of special rays and red light that helps tell your body, triggers the hormones in your body to produce all of the right chemicals and hormones to protect your skin for later on in the day. And then if I also can, when the sun is setting, I like this is a beautiful way to end the day, is to watch the sun set, and then the healing red rays of the sunlight then helps heal your skin and repair it after the day in the sun. So there's a lot more to sun protection than just lathering your skin up with sun lotion. For me, it's just don't overdo it in the sun and then cover up. Make sure that, oh, another point is I also don't wear sunglasses. I used to wear sunglasses in the past and I used to burn really easily, but since not wearing sunglasses, I've found that I don't burn. And the reason why I don't wear sunglasses, in my opinion, this is what I choose to do what is best for you, do your own research. When you wear sunglasses, you are basically tricking your body into thinking that you're indoors, or that it's getting dark, or that you're basically in a cave. You're not getting the right feedback. Your eyes are connected to your brain, and when the sunlight goes into your eyes, it then tells your body, it then signals to your body that you are out in the sun, produce the right amount of hormones to protect your body. So you're basically are cooking in the sun, and your body and the feedback, like your body's not getting the right signals, because you're telling, basically your eyes are covered up and it's not telling your body that you're out in the bright sun. So people burn a lot more easily when they wear sunglasses. So that is why I don't wear sunglasses, and I have found that's really helped. Also, having a diet rich in lycopene, which you can get in cooked tomatoes, is really important. So around the time of year when there's a lot of sun, I make sure that we have a lot of dinners with cooked tomatoes, like curries or like a Spanish chickpea stew. Tomato ketchup can even be good, things like that, because it contains high amounts of antioxidants which help protect your skin. Also having lots of healthy fats, so not seed oils like rapeseed oil and like processed oils. Having like coconut oil and extra virgin olive oil is really good for moisturizing your skin and keeping it healthy. What other tips have I got? There's loads of things, guys. It's more of a lifestyle rather than just one thing. What other thing? Oh yeah,
Aazanthin.
Aazanthin. That is one supplement that we take
so good.
leading up to holidays. So if you've got a holiday coming up, or a time when you're going to be out in the sun a lot, or like even if you're doing a lot of training outside, like you're training for a race, or you're playing tennis outside a lot, this can be really, really beneficial. So obviously if you're going to go and play tennis, I would personally wear a cap. I'd probably put, if I'm going to be out for a long time, put some sun cream on areas where you can't cover up, and I'd use a zinc lotion. And you're only going to be out for a couple of hours probably playing tennis, but you don't want to get burnt. Make sure you've got a t-shirt on that covers your shoulders and the delicate parts. And then also take Aazanthin. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
This is a really powerful antioxidant. It comes from algae and it's bright vivid red, and we take this, you can get it in capsule format. And this is just really good at providing a protective layer underneath your skin, because your skin actually has a bit of a SPF underneath it when you have a super healthy diet. So it's just enough to help kind of get you by when you're going out and about in the day, because I personally don't put SPF on every single day. You know, some people say, oh, you've got to put SPF on even in the winter to go like to the shop and that. If you're getting out of the car and you're walking into a supermarket, you shouldn't need SPF. That is, in my opinion, I think it's really unhealthy, because you are meant to get sun exposure. If we're constantly blocking ourselves from the sun, we're missing out on all of the healing benefits of the sun, the vitamin D that it can give us, the way it helps regulate our circadian rhythm and our hormones. There's even some studies to say that when you get sunlight exposure or natural light, even if it's a cloudy day, when you wake up in the morning, for the first hour of the day, if you get outside and you get natural light on you, especially before, I have this saying, natural light first thing in the morning before screen light, natural light before screen light. It helps regulate all of your hormones, and there are studies to show that there's two groups of people. The ones that got natural light, got outside first thing in the morning. If you can't go physically outside, you could look out the window, go on a balcony. Just make sure that the window's open and you've got the natural light coming onto your skin and like your eyes. And it helped the group that did that without even changing the amount of calories that they ate, or did extra exercise or anything like that. The group that got the natural light, they lost excess body fat. They lost body fat. And this study was going to show how it can help boost your metabolism and regulate your hormones. Also, it can help when you get natural light first thing in the morning. I know I'm sort of going off on a bit of a tangent now, but it's all kind of correlated and related. You can boost serotonin levels as well first thing in the morning, which boosts your mood. There's just so much of the sun that we don't know about, and I don't think that we should be afraid of the sun, although I do think that we should respect it, which is why as a family we don't go to the beach all day and just lay out baking in the sun. We will, after about, I don't know, half an hour to an hour, depending on how we feel, we get the feedback from the sun, we will then cover up. If the sun is too powerful, then we either won't go out to the beach or we'll just cover up. We'll have the sun parasol here. So we aren't afraid of the sun, but we do respect it. And when needed, yes, we do use sun lotion, but we will use a zinc-based one. My favourite one, which I just showed you, is the Live and Libations one. And then also, perhaps if I'm gonna come to the beach and I want to have some SPF on me, but I don't want to put sun lotion on because I'm going to cover up after half an hour to an hour. I do sometimes use raspberry seed oil. Now this is great for like a lighter SPF protection. I wouldn't just rely on this and be out going.
It's kind of a bit like a
hike.
tanning oil.
It's a bit like a tanning oil, or
Yeah.
if you are a person who does want to wear SPF for your own like personal reasons, you know, like if you're going to be out, like what I said, you're popping out doing chores all day and you're going to get some sun exposure on you. If you are a little bit concerned and you think that you might get premature aging or whatever, which I don't believe in, you could use this as a nice moisturizer in the day. You could put it here on your face, and it apparently, according to some of the studies, it can provide like an SPF of like
25.
25, yes. But maybe this possibly would only react and work well on somebody who's got a really good healthy system like on me. I feel like this actually does really work. So sometimes if I'm coming to the beach, I will put this on my face and on this area.
There's some
just for
other oils
extra
as well.
level
I
of
think
protection.
coconut oil.
Coconut
also.
oil's got like an SPF of like,
But that one's not super
6
as
or 8,
high.
I think.
Raspberry seed oil
Yeah.
is the highest out
I
of
think
all these
shea
natural
butter's got an
oils.
SPF
Yeah.
of that. But like I said, it probably, if you are in a really bad way of health and you've never had any sun exposure and you're wearing
just gotta
sunglasses,
respect
things
it.
like that, then I would be extra cautious. But you've got to slowly build up a tolerance to the sun. You know, your melanin's got to slowly build up. You've got to get your natural melanin levels up to where they're meant to be. And if you are into really tanning and getting really dark, if that's not naturally what your melanin levels are going to be, then you are going to be pushing it, and that's probably where the negative effects of too much sun and premature aging is going to come into play. For me, this is probably as tanned as that I can get, and I'm really happy with that. So I'm not going to be a person who's going to lay out all day trying to push it and disrespect my body. So everybody's got their natural melanin levels as well. So in the past, when I used to have seed oils and I used to wear sunglasses, and especially when I was pregnant and breastfeeding, I used to be out in the sun, and I used to eat fries and crisps, and I didn't used to look after myself, and then I used to get a lot of pigmentation. So some of the pigmentation that I have got on my face is probably just, some of it's probably just natural. I think all humans don't have 100% perfect skin, but I got a lot of pigmentation on my face when I was breastfeeding, and it's to do with your hormones. You can get melasma and things like that. That does eventually fade away, but if you do have pigmentation, melasma, some of the things that can really help with that is that like Japanese milk, that sake milk mask, what they use in Japan, that can help. Also aloe vera and papaya can help naturally lighten pigmentation. And what's some of the other things that can help with it? Can you remember, Mia?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I haven't ever really done research into that.
No, yeah. So when I was pregnant with Karma and Koa, I was out in the sun a lot, having seed oils, wearing sunglasses, and my skin didn't react as well, especially combined with the hormones. But now, since we've been living this lifestyle, especially the last couple of years, and where we've cut out seed oils, I don't have sugar, I go to bed early, I'm getting out in the morning and things like that first thing, I've noticed that my skin reacts really well, and I just respect it. So yeah, so you just always got to make sure, if you're out and about in the sun, make sure you've got some zinc lotion with you, make sure you've got a hat and a cover up, and just don't push it. Don't be in the sun baking away all day, because I think people have a fake like illusion, like when they put all of this chemical sunscreen on them and they're just laying there baking, they're like, I'm not burning, so my skin is fine. But your skin isn't fine. You're just only getting some of the rays into your skin, and you're basically blocking the rays that burn you, but you're not blocking the rays that can also cause other issues with your skin. And
You're only blocking like half of the sunlight.
Yeah, half of it, and then you are unnaturally out in the sun longer than what your skin would allow you to. So sun cream kind of tricks your body into thinking that you can be out for longer in the sun, and then you're not getting any feedback because you're not burning. You're not getting the feedback that you're being out too long. Like when your skin starts to go red and prickly, that is feedback from the sun that you've had too much. But if you've just lathered yourself up with sun cream, you're not getting that feedback. So it's not good to burn, of course, but
it's not good to trick your body.
Cream on to stop you from burning, so you can lay out in the sun all day. It's not good either. So zinc lotion if you really have to, because you're going to be out longer than you could. But we just cover up when we go home. So we usually spend about an hour at the beach. If we want to spend longer and we want to have a picnic and enjoy it, then we'll put all our t-shirts on, all of our hats on, and we'll get under the parasol and we'll be protected like that. And that's how we stop ourselves from overdoing it. And sometimes we'll avoid the midday sun as well, because that can be too powerful. So we might go out first thing in the morning or before sunset. But I think we've got a good rhythm with it now. It's just kind of like being in tune with your body, respecting the sun, using natural oils, eating a really healthy diet, and kind of just doing your own research, your own intuition and things like that. I don't know if I've mentioned anything else, because Mia, you're a redhead, aren't you? So Mia is naturally more...
Yeah.
Mia actually needs less sun, don't you?
Yeah, to get like my proper, vitamin D levels and stuff.
Yeah. So the more lighter skinned you are, the less sun you need, and then your time out in the sun will be less before you have to cover up. Whereas for me, I can go a little bit longer than Mia. Sienna and Darren, they can go a little bit longer than me because they have like better tolerant to skin. I think I have some of the red gene in me as well. I can't think of anything else that I've said. I hope that's good, guys. So the products that we use in the sun, my skin product, the Aazanthin supplement, and the Living Libations lotion, and the raspberry seed oil. Yeah, the reason I forgot to say, the reason raspberry seed oil works really well in the sun, I think, is that the raspberry plant produces protective compounds
for
in
itself,
its leaves for itself. That's why essential oils are really, really powerful. People kind of mock them, but in the past, I don't know if you know this, but before the pharmaceutical industry came along, which is a male dominant, what do you call it, the male world, the what do people call it? You've got
patriarchal?
The patriarchal system. The pharmaceutical industry is the patriarchal system. But before that, it used to be a matriarchal system of women with their lotions and their potions and their herbs. The witches that got burned and shunned. It used to be women that were the nurturers, women that used to go and get the herbs and the roots and things to heal people. It used to be women that were the midwives that helping people deliver their babies. And then the pharmaceutical industry came along and it introduced
very black and white,
and it kind of shunned plants and women's intuition and girl science for this male-led dominated science, which some of the science in the pharmaceutical industry can be really, really beneficial. I'm not saying it's bad, but it literally shunned all of that like natural like knowledge, wisdom that women had for that. So I am not against essential oils at all. They can be really, really powerful, but it just kind of hurts me a little bit when you mention essential oils to some people, like, doesn't work, blah blah blah. But for hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years, people have been using plants. I mean, a lot of pharmaceutical like medicines are based on plants, but they're then being patented, they're being like extracted and like turned into its own, like, what do you call it? What do you call it? It is a patented product, but what do you call it when they kind of brand it and they extract from a plant and they make it into something new? But a lot of pharmaceutical things are based on plants anyway. So I think there's definitely a lot of power in plants because they provide a lot of protective compounds in them to protect them from like the sun, or they have things in them to protect them from other animals eating them and things like that. So I think that's where the raspberry seed one is in particular very, very powerful, because it has that. But like I said, I will use that as a light SPF, but I won't rely on that if I'm going to be out all day in the sun. If I used the raspberry seed oil and I was going to be laying here in the sun for 3 hours, I would burn. It probably would work
it's too
for
much
an hour.
for your body.
It'd probably work on my skin for an hour, but then after that I'll cover up. So yeah, that's a really good way of wording it. It's like a nice tanning oil.
Yeah, tanning lotion.
You can also use raspberry seed oil. Some people use that just for a moisturizer. It's really, really nice. It's really nice, and sometimes I can detect a sweet little smell in it. Have you ever done that? Sometimes I put it on.
I want to get some.
It's got a really earthy smell, but now and then when I'm putting it on, I can smell a slight little hint of raspberry. Maybe if you've got like, I'm a sniffer. I'm a person that loves smells.
Like a sniff dog.
Can you smell a bit of berry to it, Mia?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, there is a bit of berry to it.
It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, but it's quite earthy and stuff like that.
It's got like sweet undertones.
So yeah, if I'm gonna go on holiday or it's coming up to the summer, my tips would be start eating an antioxidant rich diet with lots of lycopene from cooked tomatoes.
Go out in the spring.
Lots of vegetables and fruits, so you're building up all of this natural antioxidants underneath your skin. I would start going out first thing in the morning and slowly building my tolerance up to the sun. I wouldn't suddenly go out in the sun, blazing sun, expect my skin to know what to do. I wouldn't wear sunglasses. I'd have a linen shirt with me, a linen shawl, linen trousers and a hat with me, and for emergencies I'd have some zinc-based sun lotion, and I'd also be taking the Aazanthin as well for an extra boost. And I would just enjoy myself in the sun, but I wouldn't overdo it, and I'd respect myself. I'd respect the sun, and I'd respect my skin. And I just enjoy the sun because it's very, very beautiful, but it is very powerful. So I hope I've said everything. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And don't forget to check out my health website, Glowing Healthy, where we have all of my favorite products listed, like my Suncare ones on the website. And if you've got any other tips or any things that you've found out about the sun, if you've gone on a rabbit hole like me, or research like me, or if you've had any good experience about the sun, because for me this has been a lot of trial and error over the years. When I was a teenager, I used to try and tan my pale legs by putting baby oil on it, petroleum-based baby oil, laying out in my back garden trying to tan them, and they did not react. They didn't even burn at one point, my legs. Well, my face and shoulders and my chest there, I used to burn all the time when I was a kid, but for some reason my legs would never ever tan, and I'd just sit there with oil on it and just like something wasn't right with my skin. And then as the years have gone by, I've worn all of the chemical sun creams. I've tried out all the natural ones. I've tried all different ways, and I've just got to a really good place now. Now I really fully feel in tune with my body and understand how it works and how it interacts with the world around me and nature. And I'm still learning more and more things every single day. But I'd love to hear from you guys about what tips you have for enjoying the sun, and what things you've found have been really useful. Have you got any good little lotions and potions that you want to share with me? And I'd love to learn as well, guys. So love you.